Hello everybody, and for today's adventure we are at Theodore Wirths' house. And there's parking along the street by Lindell Farmstead Park. This was the house that Theodore Wirths moved into when Mr. Loring had him moved to Minneapolis.
In Hartford, Connecticut. We lived in Elizabeth Park. Elizabeth Park was a premier park in Hartford, and my husband, starting in 1897, designed this rose garden in Hartford and became very famous for doing that because it was so elaborate. It took him a long time. It took him till 1903, but he finally finished it, and it became famous nationally. His first public access rose garden. So, Charles Loring. Does everybody know who Charles Loring is?
Yes.
Right, Loring Park. He heard about the rose garden, he heard about my husband, and he went to Hartford, and on bended knee, he begged him to come to Minneapolis to design the park system here. But my husband said no. He said, we like it here in Hartford, and no, we're not gonna go. Besides, I'm sure he thought Minneapolis was frozen tundra, right? The wilderness. So, but Charles Loring wouldn't give up. He kept asking and asking, and finally he said, what would it take, to my husband? And my husband said, build me a house to my specifications. And I know, isn't that something? And then I want a limousine with a driver, and I want this, and I want that, and I want this. And Charles Loring said, okay. Maybe should have asked for more, right? I got a few things more. Anyway, so he came in January of 1910, and they put him up in this house, which is still there, 3945 Grand Avenue. And he lived there for 4 years while the house was being built. It was designed by a guy named, well, the architect was a guy named Noel Lamoureux. Evidently was kind of a famous architect in the Twin Cities, had done some other kind of well-known buildings. You can look them up, I'm sure, on your phone if you want to. And it took 4 years to build, and guess how much it cost?
$1,000?
$10,000.
$10,000.
Which was a lot of money. Here's the itemized, how much the bill that was presented for $10,000. And my name is Leone, I'm his wife, and I got to contribute my 2 cents into the design. I didn't like it that there were too many windows, I thought there wasn't enough wall space, etc., etc. And my husband honored my opinion, which was great. It was very nice of him. So then in 1910, we moved in, and we were very happy here. One of my husband's stipulations was that he could look out a window, maybe here or upstairs, and see children playing. I don't know how many of you drive down Bryant Avenue, but you know the kids are always playing at that, skating, playing baseball. And that's what they were doing back in those days too, and he wanted to watch it. Have you been over to Theodore Wirths Park, anybody? Have you seen those statues, the statue of Theodore, and the little kids playing? That's what he wanted. He wanted to see kids playing. So he came here, one thing I didn't tell you was when he made his mind up to come to Minneapolis, he wrote a letter to Charles Loring, and he said, I have fought my battle of heart and mind and have come out of it, as I believe, victorious. Well, that's the way people talked in those days, right? Flowery, but very nice. Now, this was a bust of my darling husband, and this is his family crest. This is from Switzerland. It depicts an incident that happened a long time ago, maybe 500, 600 years ago. And there was a town in Switzerland where the Wirth family lived, and some invaders came in and wanted this family to submit to a new religion, and the 3 boys said no, they wouldn't, and they were killed, 2 of them. That's these 2 stars right here, and they're killed with a scythe. Gross, right? But one of the sons, the mother begged for the life of one of her sons, and he was allowed to live. So that's what this crest represents. I was also the head of the Women's Horticultural League in Minneapolis. I taught my boys how to garden, so I was a very busy person. Prohibition, my husband kept his liquor here. We weren't supposed to have liquor in this house. It was kind of a public house, but we did
Public
anyway.
house.
Well, and so we put, and this was, you can look in here and see the liquor bottles.
It was Charlie Durrell became one of the park superintendents after Theodore Wirth had left. So he had also, I believe, came with him from Connecticut as his apprentice. So a lot of loyalty and a lot of tenure went into these. When Theodore Wirth first came to Minneapolis, there were a lot of parks already, but they were very Victorian in nature and design, meaning that it's like, oh, don't go on the grass, or, you know, very roundabout parkways for promenades and for long walkings. He had an experience in New York City working in Central Park. He's a Swiss immigrant where he was cutting across the grass to go to work and was stopped by a
And this is also one of, it's also called Kings Park, and this is known as King's Sledding Hill. Thank you so much for watching. That's all for now.